What's up, everyone? Still figuring this new software out that I have here. Hope y'all are having a great morning out there. Turn my comments on real quick. Good morning. So I'm going to talk about conditioning. It's going to be a quick to the point video because I passed a little message along to all my employees this morning, and I just felt called to pass it along to anyone out there that needs to hear it. Please become hyper aware of the conditioning and programming that goes on every day. It started back when we were kids, when our brain just started forming, right? Understand we have a conscious mind and a subconscious mind, and everything you put into your conscious mind reprograms your subconscious mind. And certain people knew that. That's why the whole system was created to control. Become aware of the programming, become aware of the conditioning, and begin to take full responsibility for it and start to reprogram your subconscious mind. There are so many aspects to healing, right? And a lot of the times I talk about processing suppressed trauma, because that's an important part. You got to go back, you got to feel it to heal it, to process that suppressed trauma. You have to. However, there's another piece to healing that is just as important, and that's reprogramming that subconscious mind. And we're talking about, since we were kids, we've been programmed for control. The school system teaches and programs us how to obey, how to look to authority for answers, how to look to our friends and what our teachers think, and look to our grades for our worthiness. Look, we're judged upon our grades, right? So inherently, as children, it is a childhood trauma, literal childhood trauma, to feel that our worthiness is dictated in our grades. That it starts as we're kids. We literally are programmed to think that our value is inherently connected to the grades we get. It's mind-blowing. So it starts then, and the conditioning continues. This is why the healing process isn't a silver bullet. You know, Megan and I love facilitating these beautiful ceremonies and helping people process trauma, but there's a piece to it that's important. The integration, the writing, the meditation, the reprogramming of that subconscious mind is so important, because a lot of people are having to deprogram 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Hey, Zoe, yeah, of course you could DM me. Yeah, Zoe, absolutely. DM me anytime. My DM's always open for questions. You don't even have to ask. Absolutely. You can message me anytime. And I'm glad you're deprogramming. It's so important, because the first step, I have this formula. It's a formula for transformational change, and it's a powerful formula. I've taught it to all my employees and our inner circle. But the first step is becoming aware. You have to become radically self-aware of the programming. The news, fear-based, all fear-based to control you, fear and control, right? You have to become aware. Then the next step is self-responsibility. And that's the difficult one. Most people have a problem with taking deep, ugly, uncomfortable self-responsibility, because no one's going to change it for you. No one's going to know, hey, what's up from Florida? It's not showing me who's saying that, unfortunately, but hello from Florida. Good to see you. It's up to you to take the steps to deprogram it, but society is going to condition you to put the blame on external circumstances, put the blame on the government, put the blame on your parents, put the blame on your job, put the blame on your spouse. Like, it's going to condition you to do that. The problem is, when you do that, you're giving your power up. You're literally giving your power up, and you're not going to be able to change anything unless you take all your power back and begin to reprogram that subconscious mind. Become aware, right? It's all programming. This is why the news is bullshit. Like, I don't know how else to say it. And most people have woken up to that now, but it's all fear-based. Certain people in power understand that the conscious and subconscious mind can be reprogrammed. If you're and at the foundational core of it, it's victim-based mentality. Okay. So become aware of the conditioning that's out there. Pay very close attention to the music you listen to. The music's been infiltrated. Listen, Tom MacDonald. I'm a huge fan of Tom MacDonald. If you haven't heard of him, look his stuff up. It's amazing. He talks about it openly. Okay, the music industry has been infiltrated. When you listen to music, it's going to your conscious mind and reprogramming your subconscious mind. Become aware of the music you listen to. Become aware of the people you spend time around. Are they empowering, or are they bringing you down, right? The mind does a very interesting thing from a psychological perspective with the people you're around. Humans are naturally empathetic. We want to connect with each other outside of like traumas and walls we put up and conditioning. We actually want to connect with each other. So what we do, oh, it's Dr. Laura. Oh, it's good to see you. I love it when you jump on here. Good to see you, Dr. Laura. It didn't show me your name, so I'm glad you told me that. So what the human mind does when you're around other people, because it wants to connect, your brain is going to create neural pathways to those similar that you spend the most time around. So if you're around toxic people, like your brain is going to start to begin to create those neural pathways of toxicity, right? So it's really important to monitor that. The music you listen to, the stuff you watch, the stuff there's a fear aspect, the fear of being fed into that. Yes, that's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that fear lowers our vibrational state, like fear, right? The three most powerful vibrations you could be in are love, joy, and gratitude. Love, joy, and gratitude. Those three, high vibration, and you'll attract those people into your life. But become hyper aware of the conditioning. From the second you wake up, what do? What do you listen to? What are you putting into your head? This is why meditation, affirmations, prayer, writing, one of the hardest things for me to get people to do. And I talk about it in our healing ceremonies, and even people when Megan and I were doing coaching for a while, is getting people to start writing their affirmations. It's difficult, but it's so powerful, because remember, when you write something, you look at it, you have to think about it, you write it, and you read it. Multiple aspects of reprogramming that subconscious mind. And your brain is in a state the first hour you wake up and right before you go to sleep that's better for reprogramming. So become hyper aware of the conditioning, okay? Get the hell off the news. That's going to do nothing but keep you in fear. All right. Pay attention to the music that you're listening to. Pay attention to the people you're spending time around. Like anything you put into your conscious mind is reprogramming your subconscious mind, for better or for worse. And your subconscious mind runs 95% of your day, right? We're on autopilot. 95% of your day, you're on autopilot. But you can reprogram it. That's the beauty. You can reprogram anything. I think there's healing is in a lot of different sections, but you can break it down into two large parts, right? Processing suppressed trauma, going back and feeling it to heal it, process that trauma, and reprogramming the subconscious mind. There's an aspect to foods too. Our food system arguably is our biggest issue out there. Like the foods have been heavily infiltrated. There's GMOs, crap everywhere. Aubrey Marcus. I love Aubrey Marcus. If you don't follow him, check him out. Incredible stuff. But you go to a lot of these like towns if you're traveling, and they've never heard, all they have is crap food. And all the food out there right now it's a slow death. That's what it is. That's the truth. It is a slow death. Fast food, the GMOs they put in shit, the amount of sugar they pump into stuff, it's a slow death. It's not going to kill you immediately, but it's going to create a disease in 10 years. Like, you got to become hyper aware of the food you eat. And food is one of the greatest addictions. It really is. In my spiritual journey, I've tried to like do things to detach. And some of you may know this, but Megan and I have moved to fruitarian for about the past month. And it has been an incredible experience. We do about 80% fruit and nuts and 20% raw vegetables. And it has been so cool. I'm not saying that's what everyone has to do. Everyone has their own journey with food. But I will say, after the first week of the cravings and then it going away, I've had so much energy and clarity, but it's about detaching. That's a part of conditioning too. The food you put into your body, they have chemicals in them that'll make you addicted to the food and want to eat more. And it just creates freaking disease. And there's so much horrible food out there. Become hyper aware of the conditioning. You can change it at any time. At any time. Your why has to be greater. Wow, sugar has been proven to be as bad for you as heroin on a cellular level. Thank you, Zoe. Wow, I believe it. I 100% believe it. But become hyper aware of the conditioning and take the responsibility to change it. Get a good morning routine in. I preach it all the time. A solid morning routine. Your why has to be great, though. It's not easy to break the food addiction. It's not. It's the freaking, I personally believe food and porn in the world of men are some of the greatest addictions out there that are keeping people in a low vibrational state and have control of people. We did a podcast, for those of you that listen to Megan and I's podcast, Magical Healing the World. Myself, Joel Valdevez, and Paul Grosso did a podcast on how the porn industry has men so horribly right now. It has them like caught and trapped and addicted, but it's all conditioning, right? Think anything you do, anything you put into your body, anything you listen to, anything you watch, ask yourself, how is this reprogramming my subconscious mind? Is it something that is is it in your heart? Do you feel it is going to lead you to your highest good? Become aware of the programming, become aware of the conditioning, take the steps to reprogram it. The beautiful thing is you can reprogram it anytime, anytime. You can be in a completely different place, financially, personally, spiritually, professionally, in 3 months, 100%. 90 days. If you dedicate yourself to change and deprogramming the stuff that the system has programmed, you can be in a completely different place. Only you can do it, though. There's people that can come into your life as guides. If you're listening to this, you're listening to it for a reason. There's something here you're supposed to hear to take action upon, right? There's people that have come into your life as guides, but it's up to you to do the work. These medicines that Megan and I work with and that we've had the blessing of experiencing, like our ayahuasca ceremony that we both went into, or any kind of psychedelics, plant medicine, all this stuff, it facilitates healing, but you got to do the work. It shows you what you have to do the work. It all comes down to you. There's no silver bullet for healing. I made a post about it. It's a formula. It's processing trauma. It's changing your routine. It's reprogramming the subconscious mind. It's making the conscious decision to control your eating habits, to put good foods in your body that are going to heal you. Food is either going to heal you or hurt you. It's one of the two. That's a big reason why Magical's launching this food line. It's literally an all sugar-free, vegan, organic food line. Like, that's one of the reasons we're focusing on that, because food is such a detriment out there. And doing this fruitarian thing we've been doing, I've become so hyper aware of how much better it feels to have nothing but clean, good stuff than other things. It's like a new level of consciousness for me. I love it. But just become aware of the programming and conditioning, and take the steps to heal. You're all worth it. You're so worthy of love and abundance and a beautiful, healthy, fulfilling life. Everyone is worthy of that, but it's going to take work. And it takes going within and making the harder decisions, right? And as always, Magical's here for every one of you. So if you have Zoe, you mentioned DM, you can DM me anytime, 100%. We have a lot of incredible things coming up with Magical. We have 2 spots left in our healing ceremony in January. We have an inner circle that we talk every day about this stuff. So DM me if you have questions about that. But we're here for you. Become aware of the conditioning and the programming. Take the steps to start healing and living your most impactful, fulfilling life. Have a wonderful day out there, everyone. I have love for every one of you. Happy healing.